truly lost sight of right and wrong? Ask yourself, do you keep secrets? Can you be trusted? I didn't think so. Your demons are deeply ingrained in you from the very start, and you cannot fight them. If I got rid of my demons, I'd lose my angels. You feel like you want to save the world, but then you realize what you're up against. The entire planet betrays you. That girl you used to love don't even speak anymore. There's no guidebook to life. All I can do is give you my advice. Do not fear your demons. He's your best friend. He's there to be embraced. He is our fears, our own self-destructive nature. Our demon is the worst part of us when we are face to face with our darkest times. Don't throw away the best part of yourself. Take your pleasure in the shot of pain. You'll either die trying to be a hero, or you'll live long enough to become a villain. Me, I say, long live the villain.
I always just get in awe. I always just stand in awe, like most. Whenever I watch Marty's stuff, it's always just the way it's shot. I always get just completely stand in awe of it because it's not enough. I don't see that enough from the majority of anybody that's gotten a promo these days. Usually now it's just gotten to a point where it's not even like mostly done in ring anymore. It's really like everybody just sticks a cell phone in front of their face and just tries to cut a promo that way and make it real life and, this, that, and the rest of it and give us more into their character. But in general, like, the way that they go about shooting Marty's stuff and how Control, I would imagine that's a lot of it is his ideas of the way he wants it and how he wants it seen and how he wants his character portrayed and everything like that. And it's just...
And that the imagery flows with his words.
Yeah.
Like, the imagery makes perfect sense
flows with it.
to exactly what he's talking about. Like, there's one part, I mean, you guys didn't see, but you can still check the clip out on YouTube. It's there. When he said there's no guidebook to life. Shot at low angle, on the ground, him in the distance, walking on just a dirt road.
Favorite shot of the whole thing. I was literally, my head shakes every time. It's one of those, like, you just have a half-cocked smile and you're just shaking your head back and forth just like, holy crap, I can't believe how cool that looks.
Right? But, I mean, the fact of, like, again, the pictures that he paints and the words that he says and the things that he talks about are so relevant to not just how great his character is, but so relevant to the world at that moment.
Yeah.
And it's a talent that not a lot of people in this business today possess. Yeah, like you said, everything that we're doing on this side of the world is all real, raw. We're trying to cut a promo from a cell phone or tweet something to have a Twitter battle because that's how North Americans handle their shit now.
Yeah.
But they're still doing it very much like the 80s, where they're introducing the character and they have these great promo packages. I almost want to say, to go back to kind of, we talked about characters ahead of their time, I almost want to say his promos and the way the pictures he paints, much like, and you did call it the pedophile promo when you heard it, but much like Wail and Mercy.
Oh, yeah.
Much like Wail and Mercy. Not so much the imagery of where he was, because he was in a park. But take the words of what he said and strip him out of a park with kids and just have him in like a dark room with a light bulb swinging over his face. Yeah,
and just like trying to cut vignettes to really just get people really hooked on this guy's character. Like even the way they used to do with Razor, of how they introduced, like it was like 8 weeks of promos before you would even see this guy.
Look at my clothes.
Yeah.
Look at my car. When people find out I ate here, Chico, man, they're gonna come buy food like the buckets, man. Like, no, seriously, you're right. We've lost a step and I'm a big advocate, much as you are, of the character. The character is really the define. I mean, the wrestler has to have talent in the ring, and SCURLL's got it by the bucket loads.
Yeah.
But the character is what defines SCURLL.
Yeah.
SCURLL doesn't even have to come out now and kick ass like we know he can in the ring. SCURLL can come out, stare somebody down, grin from ear to ear, and walk out of that arena not uttering a word. And you would just sit there and go... What?
And the whole building
would just go crazy.
They go crazy.
They would go crazy. And it's when you know you have something, that's when you literally know you've captured lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
When you have that.
And I'm sure he feels that every time he puts those sunglasses on. Every time he grabs that umbrella and puts those sunglasses on, I can't see him not turning into that, like that, turning it up of whatever everybody else turns up in their characters. It's like he is really Marty SCURLL. Like everything about his villain character is just turned up times. If it's times 500,000, it's times 1 million for this guy.
All right, so I'm going to touch on a couple brief ones, and then I'm going to play one of my other my honorable mention promos. Villains and Demons, and this other promo that I'm going to play a little bit later. It was a toss-up between the two of which one is more my favorite. Villains and Demons just has the edge a little bit. But this one I'll play after the bit. But let's just finish up the his wrestling career as it stands right now. So from 2012 to 2017, he was part of Progress Wrestling. He was part of the very first show, which was called Chapter 1, in a tournament to determine the first ever Progress champion. He beat Zack Sabre Jr. in the acclaimed semi-final match, which again is available on YouTube in its entirety and is absolutely fantastic. And he did that right before competing in a four-way match for the title against Mike Mason, El Ligero, and the eventual winner, Nathan Cruz. SCURLL went on to challenge Cruz for the title in a 2 out of 3 falls match at Chapter 2, but he failed to capture the title. Competing regularly for Progress, he was notably part of a four-way match for the Progress Championship at Chapter 12, facing Rampage Brown, Ligero again, and then the eventual champion, champion Jimmy Havoc. And fighting again for the title at Chapter 18 against Will Ospreay, Noam Dar, Dave Mastiff, Paul Robinson, and the champion, Jimmy Havoc. SCURLL reached the quarterfinals of the first Super Strong Style 16 tournament in 2015, beating Eddie Dennis on day 1, and Dave Mastiff in the quarterfinals before losing to Zack Sabre Jr. on day 2. He was the runner-up to Mark Haskins in the 2015 Thunder Bastard match at Chapter 20. He lost to Chris Travis at Chapter 21 in Travis's final match before retirement from wrestling and death from stomach cancer. SCURLL turned firmly villainous following this match, gaining a demented mean streak that saw him win the Progress Championship for the first time in a no disqualification match against Will Ospreay at Chapter 25. All I have to say about this no disqualification match is 2 words. And we don't drop swear words a lot in the show. Much as we used to. We've evolved since then. But holy fuck.
Right?
That no DQ match is everything you want to see in a no DQ match and more.
Yeah.
Like, again, available on YouTube in its entirety. I can't stress this enough, guys. The information is out there about this man, and his credentials are legit. I don't, for all intents and purposes, to go back to the first clip I played where New Japan reached out to him to join the Bullet Club. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
It's not like he came into New Japan and was like, hey, I want to join the Bullet Club. It was like, no, listen, you're coming here. We want you to join the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
And why do they want him to join the Bullet Club? 2 words. That elite.
Hot commodity.
Thank you. Even better. Your 2 words are better than my 2 words.
It's true. I look at this guy and I look at the shirt you're wearing. He's wearing a Villain Enterprises shirt. It's like it's okay,
beautiful shirt.
Now, mind you, it was from the Bullet Club era, but at the same time, there's not been one thing. Just playing off Angels and Demons and doing the Villains and Demons, and just like every bit of idea that spills out of this guy screams money. It's not just another thing that's just it's another idea. It's a classic Vince McMahon thing to do of like. And I take nothing away from it because it's a great idea. It's a classic businessman move. You start with stuff and you see how it works, and you start with anything, see if it works, and keep going and take it from there. If it's working, it's working. But for him, it's literally a thing of like, wow, every idea that comes out is just screams money.
It's the right idea.
Yeah.
It's the right idea.
It was the right idea from the start.
Yeah, 100%. And the character just keeps evolving more and more and getting better and better.
Hundo P.
So from that point, he went on to successfully defend a title against Mars Haskins and Chris Hero and Tommy End in singles competition and against 7 opponents in 2016 Thunder Bastard match, which he won. He was the first Progress champion to defend the title overseas successfully, defending the belt against Will Ospreay at WrestleCon Super Show in Dallas, Texas, and against Zach Gibson in Italy for Power Wrestling Entertainment. He eventually lost the title to Pastor William Ever at Chapter 22 and regained it a month later at Chapter 23. Making him the first person to ever win the Progress Championship more than once. After successfully defending the belt against Mark Andrews at Chapter 35, he lost the championship to Mark Haskins in a triple threat match also involving Tommy Enda, Chapter 36. Progress's biggest show to date, held at the Brixton Academy in London. During the match, SCURLL attacked 3 referees, and he became frustrated at not being able to win, before attacking a 4th official and Jimmy Havoc, which would eventually lead to his loss. At Chapter 38, SCURLL failed to regain the title in a match that also included Jimmy Havoc after being disqualified for, again, tagging Havoc and another referee. They had a no disqualification match at Chapter 40 where he lost. In 2017, SCURLL returned to Progress at Chapter 55, being defeated by Zack Sabre Jr. I just love it. I love it here. Attacked 3 referees. Then he attacked Jimmy Havoc upon
After
return.
all the other losses.
And then he attacked
okay,
a
now
4th referee.
super pissed. I've had enough and attacking everybody.
I'm just gonna beat.
Can't take losing.
Yeah,
anymore.
it would have been awesome if he's like, you pull the fan out of the audience and start beating the crap out of them too. You know what I mean?
You know what? Actually, I've changed my tune as of late with losses, so that's going to be really good to actually talk about in the next little bit. Once we wrap this up, because I don't want to take too much away from being able to finish up the rest of this profile.
I honestly have literally maybe another 5 minutes. We'll play the final 3 clips they got. We'll do a little open discussion and then wrap it up.
Cool, because I'm really into. I want to talk about that of just Marty's lost track record and everything, what it actually means, and how it is indifferent from a lot of other villains, quote unquote.
Right. So TNA, he wrestled from 2012 to 2013. He began competing on their program, A British Boot Camp. Began airing January 2013 on Challenge. In February 14th edition of Impact Wrestling, he teamed up with the Blossom Twins, Hannah and Holly, to face the team of Jesse Gutters, Tara, and Gail Kim. They were defeated after Gail Kim pinned Hannah. During the match, SCURLL was injured after performing a suicide dive into the metal railing. He also wrestled for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla from 2015 to the present. A couple notable things about that is he made his debut at Battle of Los Angeles 2015. He beat Rich Swann in round 1, Trevor Lee in the quarterfinals, and he lost to Zack Sabre Jr. in the semifinals. He also suffered a string of losses, losing to Ricochet at All-Star Weekend, and Timothy Thatcher at Night 2, Kyle O'Reilly at All-Star Weekend 12, and Chuck Taylor on Night 2. At Prince, he won the match against Mark Andrews, and at 13 gained a victory over Sami Callihan. In September, SCURLL participated in the 2016 Battle of Los Angeles, defeating Pentagon Jr. in the first round, Cody Rhodes in the quarterfinals, Mark Haskins in the semifinals, and both Will Ospreay and Trevor Lee in a 3-way elimination final to win the entire tournament. Yeah. That match is available also on YouTube in its entirety.
And so is Cody and SCURLL.
Oh yeah, Cody and SCURLL.
Cody and SCURLL. Like, yeah, that's pretty much George is doing the "We're Not Worthy." It's like that's literally what that match is. Go back and check that out.
Yeah,
and the finals, of course.
Just if you can, try to find the whole tournament.
Go find the whole tournament.
It's one hell of a tournament.
Yeah,
it's one hell of a tournament. I wish they had that available on DVD. I would buy that in like a second.
Right.
It would be an import. It would cost like $150, but it would be worth it.
Right.
It would be worth it. All right, we got Ring of Honor from 2016 to the present. So on August 22nd, 2016, they announced SCURLL's upcoming debut for the promotion. Pro Wrestling Torture Pro that SCURLL had signed with the company after giving his notice to Evolve the previous month. SCURLL made his ROH debut during the promotion's 3-day tour of the United Kingdom in November. On November 20th, during the final day of the tour, he defeated Will Ospreay to win the ROH World Television Championship. He successfully defended the title against previous champion Ospreay and Dragon Lee in a triple threat match at ROH's biggest pay-per-view of the year, Final Battle 2016. The beginning of 2017 saw SCURLL make successful defenses of his title against Juice Robinson, Donovan Dijak, Sanjay Dutt, Leo Rush, and Adam Cole. The match with Leo Rush, my opinion, underrated.
Yeah.
Underrated. Leo Rush, a lot of people know him as the hype man for the almighty Bobby Lashley, but he's literally so much. No, he really is. He's so much more than that.
No, that's why I laugh.
I gotta say,
he's incredible. He's one of the greatest guys. He's one of the best talents on the roster.
And they don't use him enough in the ring, which is sad. Which is really sad, but they should, because Vince McMahon should go back and do his research and watch this match with Leo Rush, because it's definitely underrated.
I wanted to see him and Finn Balor actually have a match, like literally have a pay-per-view match. I thought that's what that was going to be about, and then everybody would have finally gotten a chance to see that.
Well, we also thought Kofi was going to be putting the match in Fastlane. It didn't happen. So
no, exactly.
WWE is doing whatever they're doing.
Bottom line is, Leo Rush is absolutely incredible. If you get a chance to go back out and go watch anything else that he has ever done besides what you've seen in 205, what you've seen on the main roster, please do it, because he's a talent like none other. Yeah. And during successful defenses against Frankie Tarzan and Hangman Page, and then returning Matt Sydal.
On April 29, 2017, in Masters of the Craft,